Hi guys, this is Miss Estes, and today we're going to practice with comparing decimals. Our I can statement is I can compare two decimals to thousandths based on meanings of the digits in each place using greater than, equal to, and less than symbols to record the results of comparisons. First, it is important to know what each symbol means. So as you see on the screen, the greater than symbol is the symbol that opens up to the left. Of course, the equal sign is the two lines, one on top of each other. They show equal to. And then the sign that opens up to the left is our less than symbol. So we have three steps that we can follow when we compare decimals. The first thing we want to do is to line up the decimals by place value. Then you want to make sure that you start with the greatest place value and compare one place value at a time. Stop when you find a difference, and then you're going to compare those two numbers. A little hint, you can add zeros to the end to make equivalent decimals. So we can always add we can always add zeros to the end because it does not change the value of that decimal number. So you want to make sure you're being a math detective, line the numbers up, and look closely when you're comparing. So if we look here, we have a chart that is set up for us, and we're comparing 47 and 824 thousandths and 47 and 842 thousandths. So we want to write these two numbers in our chart, and I'm going to just put my decimal right here. We have 824 thousandths. And then our second decimal right underneath it, lining up each place value, 47 and 842 thousandths. So I have all our place values lined up. I lined up my tens with my tens, my ones, make sure the decimals are one on top of the other. We have our tenths place, our hundredths place, and our thousandths place. So we're going to start at the greatest place value, and I see that they both have a 4, so I'm going to cross this out because we have to move on to the next place. They both have a 7 in the ones place, so we keep moving to the right. They both have an 8 in the tenths place. And I'm going to stop right here in our hundredths place because that's where the first difference is that we see. We have 200ths, we have 400ths. Well, 200ths is what compared to 400ths? Well, 200ths is less than 400ths. So since it is less than, we can say that this entire number, 47 and 824 thousandths, is less than 47 and 842 thousandths, based off just that hundredths place right there. Okay, on the next slide, I have included our steps just as a reminder to make sure that we're following those steps correctly. So if we're looking at our steps, the first thing we're going to do is make sure that we line up the decimals by place value. So if we look at our numbers, they both have 2 digits in front of the decimal, so they both go to the tens place. So let's start writing our numbers. So we have 75 and 876 thousandths and 75 and 786 thousandths. So we have 7, 5, and then on the right, my decimal, 876, and then 75 and 786 thousandths. All right, so we lined up the decimals by the place value. Then we're going to start with the greatest place value, and like we said, the greatest place value is the tens place. If we look in our tens, they both have a 7, so we're going to cross that out. We go to our ones, and yep, we see that they both have a 5. So we keep moving to the right, and yep, we're going to make sure we stop right here because we have a difference. So we're just going to compare these two numbers. We know that 8 tenths is greater than 7 tenths, so we can use the greater than symbol here to say that 75 and 876 thousandths is greater than 75 and 786 thousandths. All right, looking at another example, okay, we still have our steps down here at the bottom. We have our detective to help us out. So if we look at our two numbers, we have 67 and 371 thousandths and 67 and 317 thousandths. So it's very important that we pay close attention to our numbers, because usually if they give us two numbers to compare, the numbers are very similar. They're using the same digits, they just might be in a little different order, trying to trick us. So we're going to line up our decimals, 67 and 371 thousandths and 67 and 317 thousandths. All right, so we're going to start with the greatest place value and compare one place value at a time. So the greatest place value is, yes, the tens place. So if we look at the tens, they both have a 6. We're going to cross that out. Look at the ones, yep, they both have a 7. So we're going to continue to our tenths place. They both have a 3. Up when we get to our hundredths place, though, we see if we can stop because we have a difference. So we have 700 and we have 100. Well, 700 is greater than 100. So we're going to use the greater than symbol, and we can say that 67 and 371 thousandths is greater than 67 and 317 thousandths. All right, so another example, we have 51 and 981 thousandths and 51 and 891 thousandths. So again, we're going to line up our decimals by place value. So 51 and 981 thousandths. And then I'm going to line up 51 and 891 thousandths right below it. All right, so step 2, start with the greatest place value and compare one place value at a time. So we're starting with our tens. They both have a 5, so we move to our ones. And yes, they both have a 1, so I'm going to cross through that. When we get to our tenths place, though, we see that there are two different numbers. So we're going to compare our 9 tenths and 8 tenths. Well, 9 tenths is greater than 8 tenths. So that means we can use our greater than symbol, and we don't even have to worry about these other digits behind the tenths place. So because we are able to use the greater than symbol, 51 and 981 thousandths is greater than 51 and 891 thousandths. All right, so don't forget to be a math detective and use those 3 steps to help you compare your decimals correctly. Good job, guys.